Hey, beautiful souls.
Welcome to Bitter to Beautiful. I am Coach Charmin D, energetic, heartfelt, and always keeping it real.
And I'm Coach Lynette, more reserved, tenacious, honest, and a little funny
Together, we're here to guide you through transforming your bitterness
into something truly beautiful. Join us on this journey of healing and empowerment.
Welcome to Bitter to Beautiful. Today we have a special Mother's Day episode where we're talking about transforming moments, self-love, and inner beauty. Oh, in case you are wondering, actually, I'm Tracy Cheek, Coach Sharman's daughter, and thank you for joining us. I'm about to pass it to Mrs. Jada.
Hello, 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 beautiful souls. I am Jada, Coach Lynette's daughter, and this episode is going to be really special. With that being said, let's get this conversation started with self-love. And now I'm going to pass it on to my mom, Coach Lynette.
Hey, beautiful souls. So, self love refers to a deep and unconditional regard for oneself, characterized by acceptance, compassion, and nurturing of one's physical, emotional, and mental well being. It involves recognizing and honoring one's inherent worth, embracing strengths and weaknesses, setting healthy boundaries, practicing self care and fostering a positive self image and mindset. Coach Sharman, let's talk about inner beauty.
Inner beauty. Inner beauty refers to the quality, virtues, and characteristics that emanate from within a person's transcending physical appearance. It encompasses traits such as kindness, empathy, authenticity, resilience, wisdom, and compassion. Inner beauty shines through a person's actions, attitudes, values, and how they treat others, reflecting true essence beyond eternity. Appearance. It is a reflection of one's inequality, values, and virtues that contributes to a radiance and captivating presence. Coach Lynette.
So, today I am so grateful to have our daughters joining us today. So, with that said, let's get this conversation started with self love. So, we're going to start off with reading Proverbs 31, verses 25 through 31. And this chapter really talks about being a virtuous woman. So, it starts with verse 25, and it says, "Strength and dignity are her clothing, and her position is strong and secure. And she smiles at the future, knowing that she and her family are prepared. She opens her mouth in skillful and godly wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue, giving counsel and instruction. She looks well to how things go into her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed, happy, prosperous, to be admired. Her husband also, and he sings her praises, saying, Many daughters have done nobly and well, with the strength of character that is steadfast in goodness, but you excel in them all. Charm and grace are deceptive, and superficial beauty is vain. But a woman who fears the Lord reverently, worshiping, obeying, serving, and trusting him with all filled respect, she shall be praised. Give her the product of her hands, and let her own works praise her in her gates of the city. And that was the amplified version. So, Jada and Tracy, here we go. How were you taught self love and inner beauty?
Trey, you could go first.
All right. I was ready for this question.
I know.
When I was younger, I remember a journey that my mom and I used to take to get to me to my charter school, Harlem Day Charter School, what? And we used to take the BX50, the BX33 from 135th to the BX15. And in that process, every day, my mom and I would say this chant, I'm smart, I am intelligent, I am beautiful. I don't need anybody to validate me. I am who God has made me to be. I keep that to myself, especially when I'm feeling low, and that also makes me remember that the love that I have for myself or the understanding of where my beauty comes from is definitely from me and not from what other people can give to me. So, thank you, Mom, for the motto. Definitely. I share it with other young ladies that are in my school that I teach. So I think that's where it started. That and trying to remember my house phone number over and over again. We made a song, but it's more so that that we kept pressing forward for. So yeah.
I feel like for me, really just having like spa weekends with my mom. She would paint my nails and do like face mask and stuff. I feel like that's where it started because I was getting my nails done at like 3. At like 3. I was my mom little guinea pig and I was here for it. Um, yeah, that's all I could think of right now. I have mom brain. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. It's okay. So let me give some examples of self love. Setting boundaries is one of the examples. Self love often begins with setting healthy boundaries. This can mean saying no, no.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, I don't know how to say that.
Okay. Yeah, me
Saying
neither,
no
to be
to things
honest.
that don't align with your values or your goals, prioritizing your needs over others, demanding and creating space for activities that bring you joy and bring you fulfillment. Practicing self compassion. Instead of being overly critical about yourself, practice self compassion. Give yourself grace. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding, especially during challenging times. Acknowledge your strengths and accomplishment and forgive yourself for mistakes or setbacks. Or investing in self care. Something I have to honestly say that we have a struggle with doing, me and my baby, because we are so used to taking care of other people that we rarely go get our nails done. I just got mine done though.
That's us.
Investing in self care. Take time to care for your physical, mental, emotional well being. This could involve activities such as regular exercising, eat, eating nourishing food, which Tracy does not do. I just want to say that she does not do
Dang,
that.
not you put her out
She
there.
doesn't. I'm just I'm gonna be real. Let's be real, Tracy. Let's be real. We were doing Wendy's at night. Yeah, I do it too sometime with her.
A little bit from time to time ain't bad.
Yes.
Thank
This
you.
getting enough sleep, which is
Ooh,
key. Practicing mindfulness or meditation and engaging in hobbies or activities that help you to relax, recharge. Prioritizing self care shows that you value yourself and overall health. That is important. Valuing yourself and overall health. Coach Lynette?
So, in speaking about, self-care, self-love and inner beauty, let's talk about us. So, Coach Sharman, how were you taught self-love and inner beauty?
You know what? Can I be really honest? I cannot. I think it is something that I've recently learned. I don't honestly remember it being a conversation with me and my mom. And I have to be honest that I was on my own early on. My high school years, I literally was taking care of myself. So when I was younger, I do know that, she taught the basics. Love yourself, don't let nobody take advantage. She taught those. But if I can honestly say, I didn't really have much information on self-love, self-care, inner beauty. And again, I'm gonna be very transparent here, transparent as I can be. I didn't think I was beautiful for a long time. I think my daughters had to say, "Mom, you're pretty," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So if I can go back to realizing where there was a time when I felt ugly and now I feel beautiful now. I just got to be honest. I don't think, again, I don't recall having those conversations with my mom. My mom was very busy when we were young. So it was all this self-love or self-care all developed as I was older. But what I did do is I made sure I instilled it in my girls. I did do that because I wanted them to know what it meant to have self-love, because then when you have self-love, as it says, you worry about your appearance. You think about who you are internally and not allowing everybody else to dictate who you are. Coach Lynette, How were you taught about self-love and inner beauty?
So, in thinking about that, I have to say that self-love for me started with grooming. Just making sure that you're put together, making sure that your hair is done. I know that my mother had specific people who she took my sister and I to get our hair done because we were taught everyone's hand shouldn't be in your hair.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we always went on trips with her. This is when I remember first time I got my hair relaxed was I was in the fifth grade, and it was a big thing because I always used to like shake my hair and everything. But even from a child, I remember being at my godmother's house with her and her sister, used to do my hair all the time. So my hair was not ever not done. And so I learned that that's how you take care of yourself, and that's a lot of outer beauty, right? So my mother wasn't into earrings and jewelry and all that stuff, but I learned it from other people who I looked at and who I admired and said, okay, that's what I want to do. So when I got older, I began to do it. As Jada said, I used to do her nails because I really wanted, when I knew I was having a girl, I wanted her to be a girly girl.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted her to embrace her femininity, and wear skirts and dresses. And back then she wore the ruffled socks and everything. I had bows and bobos to match every outfit. Um, and I just really wanted her to look at herself and see beauty and see
Mm-hmm.
herself put together.
Mm-hmm.
But then the inner beauty, it took, I would have to say, my mother taught me about being honest, about being kind, about being gentle with people, and whatever I do, just basically try to show love in the best way possible. And I was often put in within groups and families that showed a lot of
Mm-hmm.
love. And because they took care of the outer beauty, that self-love kind of, whatever was inside kind of came out.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was always being generous, being kind,
Mm-hmm.
being giving to people, spending time with people, helping people that I was around. And I'm grateful that I was in that environment. And I want to say that I raised my children in that environment as well, to just
Mm-hmm.
love on people and serve people. And my thing is cooking and baking and
Mm-hmm.
doing things creative, and whatever I feel on the inside comes out so that I'll be able to help others. But it wasn't just my parents. I picked things up from other people as well, as I saw like what I later defined as inner beauty and self-love, and watch other people doing it. So as we talk about inner beauty, there are some examples that you can do. And I kind of spoke on kindness and empathy, but inner beauty often shines through acts of kindness and empathy towards others. When someone shows genuine care and compassion, it reflects their beautiful inner qualities. This can be seen. This can be seen in the different acts that we do.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have positive attitude and resilience. Inner beauty is also reflected in a positive attitude and resilience in the face of challenges. Someone who maintains optimism, sees the good in situations, and bounces back from adversity with strength and grace demonstrates inner beauty. This inner beauty can inspire and uplift those around them, making them beautiful, truly beautiful inside. So, as we talk about self love and inner beauty, I hope that you really find some things to look in, for yourself. And, our theme is also always bitter, coming from a bitter place into something that is beautiful.
Beautiful.
We hope that you can find something that is inside that you can reflect on. Some of us have bitter past, some of us have upbringings that may cause some bitterness in us. But if you look internally, there's always something good that you can pull out from your
Mm-hmm.
experiences, despite what they are, and you make all things beautiful, just like the Lord has. Coach Sharman.
You know what? I wanted to go back because I'm thinking about the examples that they have for inner beauty, and I have to honestly say that because I believe that I'm a beautiful person internally, that most of that was taught for me at a young age by my grandmother. She was a God-fearing woman, and she was very compassionate, and I believe that I took on a lot of her traits on being kind, having empathy, having being positive even in the face of challenges. I took that on. So, ladies, it's back on y'all. Let me ask y'all a question. What are some of the challenges you faced in practicing self-love and embracing your inner beauty? How can you respond to that, Jada?
Okay, so for me, this is a very interesting question because I am in a transitional phase of my life right now. It's giving new chapter. I am a new mom, and so self-love, self-care, self-anything is a bit different. It is different. I really don't have time for self. And so right now I'm trying to balance mom and self life, if that makes any sense. Um, so right now I don't know what self-love or self-care looks like. I know I was just telling my mom earlier today, and Tracy, like every day, um, I am trying to go back into my girly era because I have been walking around looking like nobody loves me.
Comfortable. You've been
Yeah,
comfortable.
really, really comfortable, like extremely comfortable. Um, and so I was telling them like I want to start buying clothes and looking good. Like I want to go out and look good.
Mhm,
Like even if I'm going to the supermarket, that don't mean I have to look like I just roll out of bed, you know?
mhm,
And so I guess that's where my self-care or self-love is starting. Um, I do want to get into like getting my nails done once a month
mhm,
or like getting my hair done or just going out and take myself out on a date. I don't know,
mhm,
like just something relaxing, like something fun, something that
mhm.
I like to do, like dancing or doing a paint and sip or something.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm. That's a wonderful
Yes, yes,
idea.
yes.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I'm definitely trying to get back into that. Trying to tap back into my pre-mom uh self-love. I mean, honestly, I really didn't even have a routine before I
Mhm,
became a mother. I would just try to do stuff here and there. I was also a workaholic, so that played a part.
mhm.
um but yeah, I don't know what that looks like. I'm trying I mean, after Tracy answers, tips, please, something. Like,
You got it on it.
So, Tracy, the same question for you. I repeat it. What are some challenges you face in practicing self-love and embracing your inner beauty?
Um, so I'm gonna say two challenges. One that has something to do with my work life, and then something I feel like is falling more apart because I've established this to work on my self-love, but because of new situations arising, I feel like I have to adjust them. So the first part is I am a teacher for the New York City Department of Education. Those who are a part of that group, we all need to go see a therapist, but it's okay because we love our children and we want to make sure that they have the best education possible. And then we are the ones that come in and we need the full body of God, the full body of armor messing with these children every day because we got to keep our peace and then keep their peace for some reason and still teach on top of that. But when I'm in a school that doesn't focus on the well-being of their teachers, it kind of takes away from me trying to establish self-care. My workload is kind of heavy. I am a students with disabilities teacher, and my focus is on English language arts and history. And I support three classrooms with three different levels of students, two different grade levels, modify lessons for all three of the classes. So it's like, where does my time go? I tried my best to only complete all of my work in my school. So it's been going pretty okay. I don't open up my after I get home, I don't open up my laptop for schoolwork unless it's for grad school. And when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do try to complete is schoolwork when I get on the bus. So I keep my hours between 7:30 and 3:36, and that is my work hours. Anything after that, they're gonna have to pay me a little bit more money. But I I'm trying to get back, like Jada said, into a routine. I didn't have one before because it's just like go with the flow, but I do want to start preparing for that. I am a soon-to-be mom, and if I have a
Woo!
if I have a daughter, I would really like to establish what my mom has established in me, but also making sure that her outer care is important. Of course, bodily hygiene, we have to make sure that's like on peak, on par, but make sure that you brush your hair into the ponytail when you want to. Make sure that you try different hairstyles because I can go in an Afro puff for 2 weeks and call it a day. And if I was able to show my authentic Black girl beauty self, my Black girl magic, maybe I would be able to boost my confidence a little bit more. So that's one part. Another challenge that I'm having is I have recently built up boundaries for myself after coming from college. Boundaries with family, boundaries with friends. I have a partner who I am creating a lot of boundaries with and helping him create boundaries too. And sometimes I feel like I waver when I want to please or when I want to accommodate to somebody, but then I have to um go against what I believe and how I feel like I am so I can stabilize myself. So that is something that is challenging for me now. I used to do a really good job with my family. My mom and my sister can tell you they called it stink, but it was it was me being like, no, this is just too much for me, y'all. And we're a really close-knit group, me and my mom and my sister, but sometimes it gets to become too much and I get too emotional, so I have to put a boundary up there for what we can and cannot talk about. But now that I have these new entities coming in my life, I have to reestablish those, especially with my students because they all up in my business, um, and to make things better that way. So yeah.
That was really good, Tracy. You hit on some major points there, and setting boundaries is something that a lot of people don't know how to do, but it is a form of self-love and self-care. So even setting it with work, I too, because, Jada and my other children have grown up with the busy mom. And after a point, I stopped thinking and focusing about self-care and not self-love so much, but the self-care. Um, what was going on in the inside kind of showed on the outside. And so, I now got a grip on that. But it's so important that we take care of ourselves, and boundaries are one of those things. So if you work from 9 to 5, clock in at 9 or 8:59 and leave at 5 o'clock. Setting those healthy boundaries, learning a balance in work and life is very important for self-care and inner love. Sometimes we work so much. I think about people in other countries like let's say Greece or even Mexico. They have siestas and they have time, even Holland, they have time where they spend it with their family in between the workday, and it's like a 2 to 3 hour window or maybe more. And then they go back to work because family is more important. Whereas where we are, it seems like work and money and other things are a lot more important. So if we learn to set boundaries and remember that life is more about work, life is more about just making money, but even being around people who you love, and spending that time with them, setting time constrictions, managing conversations are all part of self-care as well. Charmin?
I'm
Okay.
sorry, I was on mute. I agree with everything that Coach Lynette mentioned. And one of the reasons why as well is because I have been a very busy mom. I'm a busy mom now. I've been busy. I think my whole life I've been busy. I've always been on the go. And I realize now as as my children are grown that they have taken on being busy, and that I you gotta create work, you gotta create balance. Balance is very, very, very important. And listen, I am praying for balance. I am work, ministry, new entrepreneur, coach. It's a lot, and I ask every day, I pray every day, Lord, help me to create balance. So you got to create balance. It cannot be all about work, 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 work. You have to be mindful that you create balance, and you have to look for support. You have to look for people to kind of help you with that, because and it's okay. Listen. I got a therapist. If you talk to a therapist, but it's necessary for you to be for you to not be so focused on work and then you completely forget about life. Life be life, and it's gonna life either way. And you just got to be mindful of that, and you have to just set priorities. And one, your priority has to be focusing on the things that God has called you to focus on. Two, your priorities have to be on family. I'm realizing now more than ever, and I wish I had realized it back then, because at the end of the day, I was thinking about how I need to be able to provide for my children. It was more so I need to go to work. I need to work. I need to work so I can take care of them financially, but emotionally, sometimes I failed at that. So I, I'm saying this to be as honest as I can be. You have to create some type of balance. You have to. Coach Lynette?
Can I say something really quick?
Sure.
I think that I really like that you're now realizing, like, now that you could have made a little bit more time for family. I feel like my immediate family used to get on my mother, Coach Lynette, about that a lot, because she, just like you, Auntie, a ministryaholic, a workaholic, busy body.
I'm
Right.
non Ministry Workaholic Anonymous.
And
They
no,
have a such thing. Yes.
honestly, I feel like being a new mom, like, I get it. I get it. But I feel like now that, me and Tracy are new moms, like, we can go to you guys for advice, and we can use what we've been through to help our children.
Mhm.
I
And
agree.
so, being busy, like, obviously life is gonna life, like Auntie said, but creating those boundaries with people, because I know Tracy will tell you, I call it like, girl, why did I say yes? I should have said no. I didn't mean my yes. I
Uh-huh.
didn't mean it. How can I back out? But I feel like, especially, like, if you're a people pleaser,
Mhm.
that can affect your self-love in a way, because you feel like you're obligated to say yes. And
Yeah.
I'll say, being 100% transparent, growing up in church will do it to you. Okay. After service, Miss Antoinette want to sit here and have 17,000 hour long conversations. Miss Ma'am, I'm trying to go eat. Okay. Praise the God. I love you, Sister Antoinette. I don't know where Antoinette came from, but we're gonna go with but you gotta have the little fake smile. Like, I told myself I don't want to do that no more. Like, but I feel like self-love is also trying to find a way to not hurt people's feelings.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
feel like I struggle with that too, because I need to find a nice way to say, hey, this conversation no longer serves me. I gotta go. But nicely, you get me? Because I feel
Mhm.
like sometimes it could come out a little raunchy, and it's like, I didn't mean it that way. Like, God knows my heart. I want you to know it too, but this is how it came out. This is how I know how to express myself. I don't know how I got there, but yes, the busybody stuff. I love that. I love that. It's giving
Yes.
back. But can we, like, do we know, like, for the listeners, how can we like, try to get that balance? Like, do we work it in the schedule, put it on a calendar, like the family time, or even a self-care time, because I feel like I struggle with that too. I'm so busy trying to feed and cater to everybody in the house. So it's like, how do we, you know,
Hopefully.
I think that deciding what we actually want is very important. Sometimes I know for me, I was often told what I wanted and not often given the opportunity to actually think about what I want. And at my age, don't worry about my age. At my age, I am I'm really focused on because I've been in a place of unselfishness for most of my life because I have the gift of help, so I always want to help people and serve people. But I often neglected myself and did not have that balance. And so while I'm learning that balance now, I'm learning, and just like my daughter said, she got it honest. You know, why did I say yes? And I really either needed to take the time to think about my answer or just give a no. But I'm learning to say, okay, Lynette likes this, she doesn't like that. Lynette wants to do this, Lynette doesn't want to do that. Lynette will do this with her whole heart, Lynette will work halfway. And everything that's on the other side, my answer is going to be no, or let me at least think about it because I always want to help people. But sometimes you can help people to the point where you enable them or where you stop them from getting their own lessons and the things that they need to learn to grow, as we all have. And so I think that being a busybody, being busy can sometimes keep people motivated and keep them going. But sometimes being busy is something inside coming out that we need to just really focus on. There's something that needs to be dealt with in your heart and your mind. Something's bothering you where you always need to be busy. It could be that you don't want to stop. Maybe some people don't like to sit in their own thoughts. Some people don't like to be alone. Some people, there's so many reasons why people get busy. And I know this all too well because I did it. And I became busy because I didn't I didn't have the time to really get to know what Lynette wanted. I was just such a people pleaser that I did what everybody else wanted and neglected myself.
Yeah.
And so um you talked about finding ways not to hurt people but being honest, and I think that's part of the inner beauty, right? When you work on whatever's in your heart, when you work on those things, when you work on healing, when you work on those things that when ultimately you do not want to hurt anyone, you'll find ways not to.
Mhm.
And even without trying to hurt yourself or become overwhelmed by saying yes, 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 yes. No is a complete sentence. And we're learning that as we go on because we
Mhm.
just like to help people. We like for things to, you know, be done right and, to help others and not necessarily ourselves. But sometimes we just have to be honest. And I'm a sugarcoater and I'm a realist. So I
yeah.
kind I kind of mix the two
Mhm.
in between. I'm going to tell you the truth, but I'm going to pour some sugar on it to try to make sure it doesn't hurt your feelings. But even when doing that, sometimes the truth will hurt and you cannot help that.
Mhm.
Right? Sometimes you just need to just be honest. No, I'm so sorry. I won't be able to attend, or no, I'm so sorry. My schedule is packed and I won't be able. No, I'm sorry. Um, I'm sorry to cut this conversation off, but I just have to step away or step
Mhm.
out. I have something. You find ways and you don't have to, I'm tired of this conversation. Can we end it? That's just rude. And we can't do things like that if we ever intend not to hurt everyone's feelings. But once you work on the inside of your heart and your emotions and your feelings, that beauty will come out. But if you don't, and you're angry and you're resentful and you're unforgiving and your bitterness, that's absolutely going to come out. And there's
Mhm.
nothing beautiful about that, Coach Sharman.
Yes, you are so right. And you know what, I want to reflect on what you said before when you said that you have to get to the core of when you're busy so much. You're busy, 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 because that's me. And I didn't realize that there was trauma and there was hurt that made me want to stay busy. I didn't, and I can't say that I didn't want to sit in my thoughts because all I do is think, but it was just some stuff that I had to deal with that happened when I was younger that I didn't deal with. And that's why I felt I need to be busy. Now it's just me being busy because I'm struggling on saying no. I need to learn how to say no is a complete sentence. Yeah, that sentence does not come in my vocabulary at all. Sometimes I got to figure out how to do that. But with that said, let's give some tips on self care and inner beauty. One of the tips is mindful self reflection. You have to self reflect. You literally, so let me just say this, picking up the mirror and looking in the mirror is very important. Determining who you are based on what you see makes a difference. Understanding what God says about you is very important. And not just understanding, believing what God says about you. I have
Mhm.
struggled with that for years. My confidence was just wrecked. All I did was wanted to make everybody else happy and not make me happy, and never realized that God said that I'm worthy, that I'm more than enough. And I had to keep playing these things. I am courageous. I had to keep playing these things in my head. And now I see and believe what God says about me. Take time each day to be mindful and self-reflect. This can be through meditation, journaling, which is very, very good. We have a Bitter to Beautiful journal, and Lynette also has a journal too. So you could just go on Amazon and type her name, and you can get all the journals you want because she got a ton of them. And simply sitting quiet and focusing on your thoughts and feelings. Reflect on what brings you joy. Joy comes in the morning. God wants us to live in joy. What challenges you're facing, and how you can nurture your inner self. This practice helps you to gain self-awareness and promote self-compassion and connect you with your inner beauty. Coach Lynette?
Excuse me. Nourish your body and your mind. What you put in your body has an effect on you. Learn to eat well. Learn
Not
to
Burger
eat.
King and Wendy's. I'm sorry. Tracy.
And they have better options. They have choices there. So we learn to nourish our body and our mind. Practice self-care by nourishing your body and your mind. Eat a balanced diet with nutritious food. Stay hydrated and engage in regular exercise to keep your body healthy. And just a plug for both Coach Charmin and I are part of a Release It challenge. So if you look it up on Facebook, you'll find Release It, where we are releasing more than weight, or you can reach out to Just Kim Stringer. So additionally, you can feed your mind with positive and uplifting content such as inspiring books, meaningful conversations, or motivational podcasts. Taking care of your physical and mental well-being enhances your beauty and overall happiness. So be mindful what you put in your body. If you know that burger is going to put that extra pound, get a Beyond Burger, get a mushroom portobello mushroom burger.
Get that burger
It's
and just put some lettuce and replace the bun, okay?
Lettuce
yeah, wrap
wraps.
your lettuce.
Lettuce
That's a
wraps.
good thing. Gluten tends to stick at your gut. Just know the different phases that you are in your life. If you're if you're not pausing, if you are pausing, just think about the different things that will affect your body. There are foods that will also affect your mind. So and I know gluten is one of them. So be mindful and take care of your mind. Be around people, grow in a community. Don't be a loner. People need people.
Can we
People
talk
need
about that real quick? It's
people need
Need
people.
people. Go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
Jada.
Jay.
What you got to say?
um I would definitely say you don't need a lot of people. I mean, if that's your thing, then that's your thing. But I would say if you have at least two or three people that you know that you can go to those people. One, if they can hold you accountable, and two, if they can just be there to vent and give you sound advice.
That's
Because
good.
everybody needs that. But y'all heard that sound advice.
Sound.
That was the key word. Sound. Da, da,
Who
da, da,
taught
da.
you that? Who
Okay.
taught you that?
The Lord, it just hit my spirit just now.
Girl,
You know what, Jada, you're wrong. You just give your mama that
girl.
prop. Give your mama that prop.
Thank you.
All right, you're
But
right. I
yeah,
was giving her flowers early. I'll give it to her again. You did that. Go off,
thank you.
girl.
Thank but yeah, we should be mindful about the people. I, for one, like to be around those who are authentic and honest and kind and, all the good stuff, but I really accept people for who they are. There's just different levels of relationships.
That is why. That's what it is.
But I really do love people and I just want people to do well. But we should nourish our body and our mind, and we can't always just do that on ourselves. And I want to also include prayer. Prayer is very helpful
Yep.
with nourishing your body and mind. Dance. Can we dance and be free
Yes.
and listen to some music? Shake it if you don't have rhythm. If you have rhythm, shake yourself loose. Just
Yes, yes,
dance.
yes.
Let it go. Coach Sharman.
Yes, Tracy, I want to ask you, on the same topic what Jada was referring to. What about you? What are your thoughts about community?
Um, I think community is great. And I'm really thinking that it's tricky on who you go to because some people, like I said, you only need, to me, you thoroughly only need two or three people who are going to give you the sound advice. And I say that because too many opinions, too many people saying something, too many people trying to put an input is always going to deter you from what your ideal is for yourself in the first place.
Mhm.
So, and especially if those people don't know you all the way. Like I can't go and talk to my coworkers, even though we're besties in the workplace. There's certain things I can't go talk to them about.
Mhm.
So I talk to people who I've grown up with, who know me from a Rudy to the Tootie, right? I said that right.
Okay.
And they like truly just we've been through thick and thin together. Me and Jada have been friends since we were what, 5?
Yep.
And
Four.
regardless of where our 4, my gosh,
Four. Mm.
old. Okay. I mean, regardless of where our relationship has been, we've always come back to each other and we are that reassuring relationship that we've had with each other. And now we're in a new stage of our life, and the first person I'll call is her because she's the only one that I know genuinely will understand my perspective, right or wrong. So I
Mhm.
do agree, community is important, but there are certain levels of community that you can go to make yourself feel comfortable.
Okay. All
I
right.
agree.
That's
And
a
I can say the
mhm.
same about your mom. Your
Mhm.
mom and I met just around the same time, but it was really in the last, I want to say a little more than 2 years. I would say
Mhm.
between 2 and 4 years where we started getting a lot closer and
Mhm.
really for many things she is my go-to person because she is authentic and she is trustworthy and she's gonna tell me if I'm wrong. She's gonna ask me questions. She's gonna give me the real deal.
Mhm.
Holy fail. So that's part of nourishing your body and your mind. Who's around you
Yes.
that's nourishing you and strengthening you and encouraging you and is going to tell you the truth.
Mhm.
Because sometimes our roses smell like poo poo.
Those smell like poo, 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 poo.
So it is very important that you have, don't be afraid of the truth. Don't
Mhm.
be afraid of honesty. It will grow you. And if you have people that are honest with you. Now, I'm not saying you have to be blunt, you don't have to be disgusting, you don't have to be rude, but having those people around you that really love you and want to see the best for you. And everyone has their own way of giving honesty.
Mhm.
Just learn to take the meat and throw out the bones.
Yes,
Mhm.
that's
Carmen.
true. Yes. So another tip is embrace and authenticity and gratitude. Make sure you are grateful for everything you have. When you wake up in the morning, be grateful that God woke you up. Everybody. And I have to reiterate that when it comes to family as well, because no, we're not promised tomorrow. We tend to be lackadaisical. I think I might be saying that wrong about how we call people, how we talk to people, when we text people. Sometimes it's okay to just text somebody and say, I love you. I hope you're having an awesome day.
Can I say
Embrace your authentic self and practice gratitude regularly. Be grateful. When you wake up in the morning, that should be the first thing that you wake up and say, God, thank you for waking me up. Thank you for my family. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my job. Celebrate your strengths. Yep, celebrate your strengths. Accept your imperfection and be true to your values and beliefs. It's okay. We are not perfect. We are not perfect. Just like I tell my daughter when we talk about her being a soon to be mom. Listen, they have millions of books on how to be moms, but you know what? It's really something that everybody experienced in their own way. So it's okay. You may make a mistake. It's okay. The key is realizing it and moving forward. Don't get stuck in it, because when you get stuck, you get bitter, and God doesn't want you bitter. He wants you beautiful. Additionally, captivate authenticity and allow the inner beauty to shine through naturally. Practice gratitude by acknowledging and appreciating the blessings in your life, big or small. Gratitude promotes a positive mindset, enhances self love, and radiates inner beauty outwardly. When you're practicing gratitude, people can see it outwardly, which is important because we don't want to walk around here mean face. Sometimes you got to, but we don't need to also. God doesn't want us to walk. He wants us to smile. That smile. What does Kim say every day? What Kim Stringer says every day when we're in the room? I can't remember, but I know it has a lot to do with smiling. Just smile. Today is a great day.
Today's a great day to have a great day.
Exactly. Today is a great day to have a great day. And if you smile in that great day, it's going to give somebody else a great day. So just think about that. Lynette. Oh, wait, Trace, what you got to say?
I Funny enough, my partner and other friends that I had used to question why I was so nice to people. I might not seem nice to my family, but to the outward, to the outward world, I'm always like kind. Like, do you want my seat, ma'am? If I see someone that is might not be in a great place, I don't mind giving them money, buying a sandwich. And something that sticks in my head is what that just came out from what my mom had said is you never know the kind of day that somebody else is having.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So you have to make sure that you bring sunshine to them in any way possible. So that person can be breaking down on the inside and you don't know. So in New York, um, we're kind of rude to each other when we're in a mood, but we're also one of the most mentally unstable cities that we're in just because of all the things that are going around. A lot of the government policies that are happening, the changes in education. So we don't know that we trigger other people when we are rude. So I carry the motto, again, you never know what somebody else is going to. So don't be the cherry on top of the reason why they have a bad day. So I just
I
want
Mm.
like that. Come on, Miss Teacher.
Okay. First Peter 4:8 says that love covers a multitude of sins, and the Amplified gives a little extra. It says it forgives and disregards the offenses of others. So it is so important that we show love, that we show gratitude, authenticity. I think it's important that we are mindful about our motives and being authentic. Don't do something just because you want something. Do something because you mean it from your heart. Do something because you want to put a smile on someone's face. Um, and that's part of inner beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever is inside is going to come out. So, ladies, just thinking about our conversation, what advice would you give our listeners about self-love and inner beauty?
The only advice I can give you, because I am still trying to figure that out, is get somebody like that, don't the one or two or three people that you know you can go talk to. And one, I mean, if you want to get a therapist, then do that too. Yeah, get a therapist if you need one. But honestly, like planning out a day, a girls' night, a guys' night, a friend's night, or something. One, so that you could get out and not be in your head, like we mentioned earlier. And two, just to feel good. Because when you feel good, you look good. When you look good, you feel good. When you're around people that are positive, that's great. Um, yeah, that's all I got.
I remember something that was said previously about self-reflection, and I 100% agree. I'm constantly self-reflecting and trying to see what I could do differently, but don't let self-reflection turn to second guessing yourself.
Or
And
sabotaging.
exactly. And I say that because a reflection should be you wanting to make a change in something that's going to be a positive change for yourself. But when you are constantly guessing yourself over and over again, you lose the confidence that you had in your original decision or who you are on the inside. And that might confuse you even more than you were in the first place. So, self-reflection, yes. Second guessing, no. But if you know that the second guess is going to take you 10 steps forward and not 10 steps back, then it's okay. So it's all about really like praying, uh being still sometimes, really trying to understand what's going on with you and the people around you, making sure that you can hear, because sometimes I have to hear the Lord tell me, Tracy, no.
Mhm.
That's not where you need to go. I know that what you're thinking, but that's not where I'm trying to put you at. So, like I was saying, I definitely agree with self-reflecting, but make sure it doesn't lead to second guessing all the time.
That's good. Coach Sharman?
That's actually really good, Tracy. That's really good. So we're gonna close. It's this has been before we close. Lynette has something. Yes, honey, go ahead.
I was going to add,
Mhm.
um, it's important that we know what we want. Know what you want, and then when you know what you want, you kind of have a guide to where you're going, and then pray about it, set some goals, and with your goals get some accountability. Have someone or the two or three people that Jada and Tracy were talking about to help you stay accountable to those goals. So if it's getting a new wardrobe so you won't look so comfortable when you go outside, get the accountability. If it's I don't want to be angry, I want to do something different. If it's I need to take care more of myself, it's I need healing. I've been through so much, and what's inside I don't like it, but that's not me. Go on and heal. Pray about
Mhm.
it. And then find people who are at the place where you want to be. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be someone that's always taking care of themselves, if you want to be a teacher like Tracy, if you want to be a mother, or if you are a mother, find people who are in the place where you want to be or who have experienced what you've experienced and have accomplished much or have done well with themselves. That will always help you out with your inner beauty and your self-love. And then my thing, I love journaling so I can see my thoughts and hear what's inside. It will always come out. And there's so many things that we can do um to do that. And it's okay to sit with yourself. Sometimes I go to a restaurant by yourself. It drives some people crazy, but I can sit in a restaurant, a diner, whatever, by myself and enjoy my own company. And in that time, you will love or begin to love who you find in those moments of solitude. Coach Sharman?
We have to be mindful of what the word says too, because self love comes from the love that Christ has given us. The word says, Jesus said to him, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and with all your mind." This is the first and the great commandment. And the second is, you shall love your neighbor as you love yourself. The only way that you can love your neighbor if you first love yourself. And the only way that you can first love yourself is to love the Lord, because the Lord is going to show you how to love yourself. He's going to show you again that you're worthy, that you're more than enough, that you're courageous. He's going to show you all those things about yourself that you may not believe. So start there. And as you start there, you're going to be able to grow with self love and inner beauty. So, in closing, As we close Bitter to Beautiful May episodes, our May episodes will help to step you into your blooming season. This is blooming May. May is blooming. We're gonna bloom. Our goal is to provide you with tools and guidance needed for your personal growth and transformation into a beautiful and authentic woman that God has called you to be. Stay tuned for our next episode, which drops next Saturday. And don't forget that God doesn't want you bitter, He wants you beautiful. Thank you for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, beautiful soul. As we wrap up today's episode, we want to extend our deepest gratitude to you, our listeners. Transitioning from bitter to beautiful isn't just a moment, it's a movement, a continuous journey of transforming pain into power, one heart at a time.
And to all our first time listeners, welcome to the family. We are a community of souls committed to healing, growth, and transformation. Click on the link in the bio to subscribe to our mailing list and tune in every week. When you subscribe, you'll also receive information about our live pop-up rooms on Clubhouse.
As we embrace life's journey and find the beauty in overcoming bitterness, remember, bitterness isn't beautiful, and your healing is just the beginning of a beautiful new chapter.
Don't forget, new episodes are released every Saturday. Whether you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, or Listen Notes, there is a space for you here to find healing, inspiration, and strength.
Thank you for joining us. Until next time, keep embracing the journey, keep healing, and keep transforming. Here's to turning all our bitter experiences into beautiful victories. See you next time.